Welcome back to Legacy Birds, where we raise with purpose and build something that lasts. In the last episode, we talked about setting flock goals and how to choose breeder birds that match those goals. Today, it's time to get those birds ready for the brood pen. In this episode, we're going to walk through how long to condition your breeders, what to feed them, and why it matters. The specific amino acids, vitamins, minerals that improve fertility and hatchability. This is the science behind better chicks. Let's get into it. Breeding season doesn't start when the egg shows up. It starts 4 to 6 weeks before you pair your birds. That's how long it takes for feed and environmental changes to impact egg quality, sperm production, hormonal balance, and overall reproductive health. If you wait until the hens start laying, you may be too late. Start early and set your breeders up for success. Breeder birds have different needs than layers or grow out. They need feed that supports egg production, fertile sperm development, strong, healthy embryos. That means feeding a high quality breeder ration, not some generic feed, is very, very important. Most people look at protein as being the most important thing. In fact, protein is not number one. Protein is going to be number 3 or number 4 as it relates to the importance. One of the more important things is lysine in a breeder ration. You're going to want to see somewhere between 1.1 and 1.2%. On the methionine, you're going to want to see a minimum of 0.4, preferably 0.5, 0.6 if you can find it. Calcium should be at a minimum of 3% for hens. I really like to see 3.5, 3.6 in the calcium range. On the fat, you're going to want to see that at a minimum of 5% up to 6%. Protein is going to be somewhere at an absolute minimum of 17%. Preferably, I'd like to see it closer to 19 or 20% for your breeders. With those breeders, it takes a lot of energy to do all the things that you need them to do. Protein isn't everything. Those amino acids and the vitamins we're going to talk about, they're more important. It's not just about how much protein, it's about the right building blocks. 2 critical amino acids for fertility is the lysine, because that supports muscle development and your egg mass. Methionine is essential for feather health and reproductive tissue. In breeder birds that are deficient, you will see thin shelled or irregular eggs, lower hatch rates, even when the eggs are fertile, and weaker chicks, which means you'll have problems with them passing in the first week or two. Look for feeds that list these clearly, or add supplements if needed. 2 of my favorite supplements are from ShowPro. Breeder supplement is one of them. And the other one is from the Fertility company and their Show and Breeder supplement. They make a really great product as well. On the vitamins, let's talk vitamins. Vitamins are like fertility boosters. And here's some of the more important ones that you need to look for. Vitamin E. You're going to want to see anywhere between 70 and 90 international units per pound. It's a powerful antioxidant that improves sperm quality and embryo survival. You can also supplement that with wheat germ oil or get vitamin E capsules from the store, poke a hole in them and squirt them on the feed. Vitamin A is essential for reproductive tract health. If it's deficient, you're going to have poor fertility, weak hatchlings. Vitamin D3 works with calcium for shell strength and hatchability. If you're seeing fertile eggs in your incubator that don't develop past day 17, 18, 19, check if your vitamin D3 is low in your feed, or add a little bit to it in your breeders and wait 4 to 6 weeks for that to take full effect. It could also be one of the trace minerals, zinc, that causes that as well. Vitamin B12 is critical for metabolism and early embryo development. Folic acid and biotin helps prevent deformalities and support early chick growth. You can find breeder-specific supplements and fertility supplements with all that stuff included. Now, let's not forget the trace minerals. Here's the big three. Zinc, because it improves egg production, cell formation, and hatchability, especially in birds with a melanin gene. That one has been directly linked to low levels of zinc and poor hatchability. The fertility will be great at around days 17 to 20. They'll stop forming. Manganese helps develop strong skeletal systems in the embryos. Selenium enhances immunity and fertility, especially in your roosters. Here's a few extra tips to make your feed program cute. If you have feed and you notice that it's moldy or stale, get rid of it. Don't overdo scratch greens. A lot of people want to give scratch greens because they think their birds absolutely have to have it. Scratch greens will dilute the nutrients that you need from your chicken ration. When they dilute that, it makes the numbers lower and you don't get the results that we're looking for. After all, we're trying to leave a legacy. And a lot of people, when they add the scratch grains to their feed, they'll say, well, the birds love it. Well, guess what? Kids love candy too. That doesn't make it good for them. Another thing that you should always offer is free choice oyster shells for calcium support and free choice grit if it's not already mixed in your feed. I know very few people that actually have the grit mixed in the feed. But if you look on the label, it may tell you, or talk to the mill where they make it. Consider adding probiotics for gut health. One of the easiest ways to do that is to toss a little dollop of plain yogurt on the feed every so often. Or you can give them some milk, raw milk, or vitamin D are both great for this. But remember one important thing, consistency is key. Once you get your birds in a routine, keep it. Don't change it. It's going to take 4 to 6 weeks for them to recuperate. I have personally tested this theory with chicks, moved some birds to another pen, collected some eggs, and hatched them. They weighed one thing. After about 4 to 6 weeks, I collected more eggs and hatched those chicks out, and they weighed almost twice as much. The birds were less stressed because they had been in the same spot, in the same environment. It was clean. They had plenty of room. Their feed was the way it should be. They were good. Whether you feed once a day or twice a day, do it at the same time and feed the same amount. Let your birds build up, not burn out. I like to feed an hour or two before dark, because what that does is lets the birds fill their belly up so they're ready to go to bed. Even with great feed, stress can ruin fertility. So give your breeders plenty of space. 3, 4, even 5 square feet per bird. The more the better in your brood pen. Give them clean, dry bedding. You want that brood pen to stay nice and clean. Put some straw or something along those lines in the nesting box and make sure that it stays clean as well. They mess it up, clean it out. Plenty of airflow is very important, not only for this, but also to get the ammonia smell away. Because studies show 10,000 parts per million is toxic to chickens. It'll burn the insides of their lungs. But the human nose can't even smell ammonia until it's about 25,000 parts per million. So 2.5 times the amount that damages the lungs of your chicks. Make sure there's plenty of airflow. To balance the fertility in both the male and the female, they need at least 14 to 16 hours of light per day. And we'll discuss more about setting up a light program. You'll want to use a timer and gradually increase the light before the season starts. I'll turn my lights on at 6 o'clock a.m. And then 1 week later, I'll back it up 30 minutes. 1 week later, I'll back it up another 30 minutes. And I'll do this over a period of a couple months until I get to where my lights are coming on at about 3 a.m. And I'm going to run those until 6. And once it gets to where it's breeding time and the days are longer, daylight doesn't end until 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. But ideally, you want your lights to go off 2 hours before the natural sun goes down. That gives them a natural roosting period that's going to be less stressful than if your lights just cut off and it's pitch dark. That will stress your birds out and keep them from laying. If you have it where it's steady, it'll stimulate spring and kick in natural reproductive hormones. And it keeps the roosters from overworking the hens. Watch for early signs of parasites and illness. So to wrap it up, your breeder feed is the fuel behind every egg, every chick, and every generation. Start early, feed smart, and stay consistent. In the next episode, we'll get into setting up the brood pen, pairing strategies, and fertility testing. Until then, keep tracking your progress and raise with purpose. I'm Carrie, and this is Legacy Birds. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.